Good day. My name is Christian Limpiado of BSed English 1B, and I will be conducting a virtual teaching demonstration for first-year college students in the education department. The subject that I will be teaching is GEE 4, Living in the IT Era, Module Week number 2, Technology as a Way of Revealing. Before anything else, let us bow down our heads and feel the presence of the Lord. All-powerful and ever-living God, the cause of all goodness and graces, the inspiration of all learners, young and old. We beseech you, O Lord, to grant us the strength and fervor in keeping our minds open to every lesson that we encounter each day and forward. Amen. Before we continue, please heed our reminders for our online classes. First, be on time. Get organized and be prepared. Second, mute yourself. Mute your mic when you are not talking. Third, participation is a plus. Be focused, attentive, and be an active participant of our online classes. Alright. Now, Class Beadle, kindly check today's attendance. Thank you. I can see beautiful and genuine smiles today. It seems to me that you're all eager to participate with my guessing game. All you have to do is to guess the word that the collage implies. Anyone who would like to guess? Yes, Simon. That's right. The correct answer is technology. For this week's lesson, you future educators are expected to first, explain the concept of human condition before science and technology. Second, identify the change that happened in human condition after science and technology. And lastly, name ways on how technology aided in revealing the truth about the human being. For the rationale, to advocate the existence of human before science and technology and how it will develop for the convenience of human being. Comparing the lives of the people before and now will make anyone realize changes that happened in society, not just in terms of culture, language, or rights, but more importantly, changes in people's way of life due to the existence of science and technology. Relatively, the term generation gap is attributed mainly to the changes brought about by technology. It cannot be denied that until today, not everyone is comfortable in using different kinds of technologies, especially the older generations, as they view these devices very appealing, yet are a difficult puzzle to them. However, this gap is not something to be worried about. Technology is not a villain, yet a challenge in the field of science and technology, and younger generations to make these advancements more accessible and less confusing for people who are not as young anymore. In simpler terms, we will be bridging and filling in the gap so that everyone can experience what it is like to live with ease and comfort because of the availability of modern technology. Let us now proceed to the human condition before Common Era. As it is difficult to pinpoint the particular period where technology is said to have started, one can say that at the very least, the motivation to make things easier has been around since humans are. Homo erectus have been using fire to cook, through chipping one flint over the other, to produce a spark, all while without realizing the loss of friction and heat. Tools from stone and flints mark the era of Stone Age, during the advent of our very own Homo sapiens. This particular period proved to be difficult for our ancestors, but in a remarkably distinct way. For instance, the excavations of miniature statues prevalent during Paleolithic period, the so-called Venus figure, which depicts a rudimentary carving of a voluptuous woman out of ivory stone, which can be inferred that the humans of yesterday have a certain fixation of the female anatomy. Were they also curious on finding explanations to certain phenomena? Well, it seemed that they have found the answer. Excavations in the latter half of the Stone Age include several figures thought to be ceremonial, meaning that perhaps people of the time had also painstakingly wrought and hewed said figures in honor of some deity. Some worshipped majestic creatures, such as elephants and mammoths, who lived alongside them, bowed to them as the owner of the land, asking for blessings in their hunting ground. Ancestors who lived near coastal areas or bodies of water had water gods, of whom they pray for a good catch. Nevertheless, it can be positively inferred that, like the people of today, our ancestors also found the need to explain things in a way that makes sense to them. Let us now jump into the human condition in the Common Era. Driven by their primal need to survive and gaining upper hand in terms of development and adaptability, overhunting and overfishing were common. The formation of communities also started. People then had a new objective: gather as much products as possible. They have turned to wealth as one of their goals as humans and ultimately as civilizations, because they perceive that those who have many will live comfortably and thus are generally happier than those who do not have sufficient wealth. The primary goal was no longer merely to survive, but to live the good life. The essence of technology. Martin Heidegger argued that the essence or purpose and being of technology are different from each other. He was able to expound on this point upon identifying that technology can either be perceived as, first, a means to achieve man's end, and that which constitutes human activity. We will elaborate more about these perspectives on our next meeting. For now, let us tackle the last part of our module on technology as a way of revealing. Backtracking the human condition. Technology's initial promise proved to be true. Regardless of its ramifications as human conditions improved, it is now evident that if we are to measure the level of comfort, various scientific breakthroughs and improved lifestyles of those who had the luxury to afford to do so, a lot of people still subscribe to religion in explaining things. For those who have ceased to believe, turn their worships to reverence of science. Whether science or religion, these people are still bent on trying to make sense of the events happening in the world on the basis of their paradigms. They are still trying to discover and rediscover things that would give meaning to their lives, whether it be honor, strength, or merit. People are still trying to make sense of their existence in the world, and technology does little aid them in their pursuit of life's meaning. And that ends our virtual discussion. I hope you are now enlightened with the relevance of technology in revealing human conditions. from the past down to the present times, as well as in our pursuit for the good life that will be further discussed next week. For your assignment, you will write a reflection with regards to our topic of discussion. And for your activity, you will be role-playing a world without technology. You are going to illustrate a scenario where a certain technological innovation does not exist. You can refer to our module for examples, and that will be presented next week, Tuesday. The video presentation must be minimum of 3 minutes and maximum of 5 minutes. Rubrics will be posted for your assignment and activity in the Google Classroom. Again, this is Chris Jean Limpiado. Until next week, bye-bye!